All right, let's get on. International news review. Big news this week, big developments. Two key American figures, one stepping up, if you like, and one stepping down, Steve. What's the story?
Well, first we had a headline, I think, from the New York Post, which kind of sums up one of them. And the story is a Florida retiree made the surprise announcement he is running for president in a move no political pundit saw coming. Avid golfer Donald J. Trump kicked things off at Mar-a-Lago, his resort and classified documents library. So,
fantastic.
One that is very Neil Humphreys-esque. So you have a kindred spirit at the New York Post. But what's most significant about that is that the New York Post, owned by Rupert Murdoch, it was Fox and Murdoch that pushed Donald Trump, supported Donald Trump, and now they've turned on him. And so while Trump is in the race and he's clearly the Republican frontrunner right now, this is not going to be anything like 2016 or even 2020.
U.S. House of Representatives Speaker Nancy Pelosi, who wasn't that popular in China recently with her comments about Taiwan, stepping down, Steve. What does that mean?
Well, I was a little bit surprised at how she's stepping down. You got to think of Nancy Pelosi is going to be like Lee Kuan Yew was, right, when he stepped down. So everybody anticipated that Nancy Pelosi would say she's going to resign from Congress. She's going to give up being speaker and doing that, and the new generation will come in. But Nancy Pelosi has said she will not run for speaker. She'll make way for the new generation, but she's going to stay in Congress in that minister mentor role, right? A senior minister role that Lee Kuan Yew played here. So I found that to be really interesting. And the Democrats are ecstatic that she is going to stay in Congress and be that backbencher, but the senior official that can educate the party as it moves on without her. Certainly the Democrats in the House.
Well, Steve, we've also talked about the representative that may seek to take over her place, Hakeem Jeffries of New York, and that would make him the first black lawmaker to lead the major party's caucus in Congress. What can you tell us about him, and can he live up to her? Can he live up to her rep?
Well, I mean, the thinking is that he can, but it's going to take time. I mean, Nancy Pelosi, these are huge shoes to fill. You could argue that she's the most impactful, effective Speaker of the House, certainly in our lifetime. I've seen others say ever. And so Jeffries he's more of on the moderate side than the left wing of the party. So what he's going to have to do is figure out, how do you keep the party together, including, the squad like AOC? How are you going to be able to manage the Democratic Party while you're trying to balance off the Republicans? That's going to be difficult. So people have a lot of hopes for Jeffries and what he represents from the more moderate side. Having the first black to lead a party in the Congress is very important to show that different ideas are welcome. But it's also going to take him some time. And so that's why former Speaker Pelosi, which is what she will be in January, but still Representative Pelosi is going to be able to figure out, how do you keep the Democratic caucus unified? Because the Republicans will not. We already see the Republicans in disarray between the MAGA Republicans, the Freedom Caucus Republicans, already saying they may not vote for Kevin McCarthy, who's the presumptive speaker on the Republican side. So it's critical that Democrats don't let that happen to them, that the progressive wing and the moderates stay together. Nancy Pelosi can do that. Very hard for anybody else to do that. So having Nancy Pelosi help Hakeem Jeffries, who's from that more moderate side, be able to keep the caucus together is critical. And that's why everybody is so happy on the Democratic side that Speaker Pelosi becomes Congresswoman Pelosi and not retired, public citizen Pelosi.
All right, Steve, we'll wrap it up. A couple of things. Tell us about the T-shirt. I love it. And what's going on in Los Angeles?
The number one story here. You could not see anything about Donald Trump, not see anything about Nancy Pelosi, not see anything about what the U.S. is doing in Asia. It's that you can't get Taylor Swift tickets. The internet crashed when her tickets went on sale, and there's allegations of monopolistic practices by Ticketmaster. AOC is tweeting about it. They're threatening congressional hearings. So the Swifties have taken over the news in the United States. Everything we've talked about is nothing compared to Taylor Swift and her concert.
He just
concert
downplayed you.
Yeah, I'm with the Swifties. I'm with the Swifties. I'm this close, guys, to sending an email to Lawrence Wong about Harry Styles. So I'm with the Swifties on this. Steve, thanks as always. Lovely T-shirt. All the best to you, Bennett, and all the Oaken families. And have a wonderful Thanksgiving together.
Thank you, Steve.
And happy Thanksgiving to all the American listeners. Thanks, guys.
Thanks, Steve. Take it easy, my friend. Great stuff there from Steve. Great insight from Steve, as always. The real thing, of course, is the Swifties.
Yeah,
you know.
that's beyond all the other problems that we've discussed.
Yes, we need to talk about that after the break. Let's get a song on, and then I'll calm down a bit about the Swifties.
Okay.